boy Light back at it with another YouTube video. Yeah, today's video we're doing something a bit different. Yeah, what I'm going to be doing today is actually misunderstood villains, and basically looking at villains from a certain point of view that's most likely theirs. Yeah, and just looking at villains differently and seeing like exactly what they did and why they did it, what from their point of view. Um, in this video, I'm in no way like trying to be like I agree with like bombing the place or something. I do not agree with that, obviously. I just felt like this was an interesting topic because, in my opinion, a good villain, what makes a good villain is you understand them slash you understand their motive, and like they have multiple layers to them. That's what makes a really good villain, in my opinion. Like, personally, I much rather have a villain like that than just someone who's just run rapid, just wants to kill everyone. But there's a difference. You could be saying, oh, then you think Joker's not a good villain. Joker is a bit different because he has some layers before he became the Joker, for example, which has always interested me. Yeah. But I'm talking about like a regular crook or something. Like, honestly, in my opinion, Hammerhead from Spider-Man is not... He's an alright villain, honestly. He's a super villain, whatever, but in my opinion, I don't really like him. Just because he's not very complex. He's just some random, like, Hammerhead guy who just wants to beat up Spider-Man, and his villain is like a mob boss, really. That's what he is. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I've already filmed this once before, so my apologies if I seem like I'm going through something really fast or something. Just because when I got to the last guy, I was doing it, and then, yeah, I wanted to rewatch the movie first. And by the way, also, this is MCU movie villains only. Let me know if you want to see comics version of this, or DCU, or something else, Marvel Legacy, whatever your choice is. I'll know by the comments down below, or likes, or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if I'll call this a part 1 or part 2. Who knows? Yeah. Let's move on to the first one. Now, what this guy did was not good. And yeah, I'm talking about Zemo from Civil War. Now, my opinion on him might change once we see the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because he is going to be the villain for that, and I expect him to be worse. Just terrible. But yeah, let me explain his point of view. So, back in Civil War, imagine to yourself, your family's dead, and the people who you thought would protect them were careless and just literally basically got them killed, honestly. And then you find your family and they're all dead. What would you do? Go after the people that were supposed to protect them? And technically the villain who actually did this all is dead as well. That's what complicates it a little bit. But yeah, imagine, what would you do? Seek vengeance? Or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of Zemo's point of view, or explaining it, kind of. I don't agree with it. He did. I mean, be honest with yourself. Would you do the same thing as him? I'm not even gonna lie. Probably. I wouldn't bomb everybody. I would think logically. He kind of think logically, but that's a different way of thinking, as like a psychopath. But I would think to myself, did the Avengers really cause this, or did Ultron cause this? And Ultron's dead, so, or destroyed. I don't know what he is, but yeah, he's gone. You're thinking, like, what am I supposed to do? Especially, another thing I didn't understand really was, why did Zemo destroy the summit in like Vienna, I think it was, in Civil War? Why did he make Bucky do that? That's the real question. Or did he make it? I can't remember properly, but yeah, that's something I don't agree on. But yeah, Brainwashing people, not good. I mean, yeah, that's just all I'm really gonna say on this. I expect my opinion on him to be changed because from the looks of it, he's supposed to be like the comic book version of him, where he's actually a skilled fighter. Not saying he wasn't a skilled fighter in Civil War. He just seemed very dumbed down, but yeah, that's just Zemo here. All right, now it's Loki. Now, you might realize Loki redeemed himself. Why is he on this list? I just felt like putting him on this list. But I'm specifically going to be talking about Thor 1. Maybe Thor 2. Who knows? But really Thor 1, not the Avengers. Because the Avengers I have a different theory on. I think he was he was under the Mind Stone's control back in the Avengers. Because if you realize, his eyes look very different. His eyes are like very like dark and stuff, and you could be like, oh, lack of sleep or something like that, but that just wouldn't make sense because you realize Loki in Thor, and also in Thor 2, was completely fine, which I find really strange. But let's explain a certain point of view here. So, imagine you're a part of a family, right? And basically you don't fit in properly. You think about that probably your whole life. You have your brother who's just everyone likes. He's awesome, whatever, powerful. And then you have yourself who's kind of like not many people like and stuff. And then you have your father who kind of treats your brother better than you, honestly. Just imagine, what does that do to you? Really? Well, and then you realize that your father basically not stole you, but basically adopted you from a civilization that they treat like basically like the villain slash sworn enemy kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I realized. Imagine from that sort of view. And remember, Loki, I don't think Loki had any intent to like kill Odin or kill Thor or anything. I think he had more intent of just kind of trying to fit in slash really embracing kind of madness kind of thing. And just wanting to rule kind of thing, because he realizes basically his adopted brother Thor is basically, or not adopted brother, he's the adopted one. His like, I don't know what you call the one that's not adopted, but Thor is basically getting everything and he's just getting nothing. Just remember that. Yeah. So that's kind of misunderstood. The third one. I think he's the most misunderstood comic book, or not comic book, but villain we've ever seen on the big screen of all time. I think that. Or maybe at least in the MCU. Or a second. Actually, I'll put him first. I think he's super misunderstood, and it's gonna be Killmonger, Eric Stevens, right? So yeah, like I have more stuff to say about him soon, but right now I'm gonna explain a certain view. So yeah, imagine you're just a little boy growing up in like kind of the ghetto kind of thing. Not very good neighborhoods, right? Imagine that. And I'm explaining the MCU version. Comic book version is different, but MCU version. So you're a boy. That happens. Your father. You go upstairs. You go to your apartment. You see your father dead, right in front of your eyes, and you kind of realize exactly who killed him. And basically, you're rejected by your own people. Imagine that. You're rejected by your own people. Your father's dead. You're basically caring for yourself, honestly. The people who were just your father spoke so good about basically rejected you. Just killed your father. I mean, there was a reason for that, but that's a different story. you realize that, and basically, yeah, I believe he's actually older than T'Challa too. So I'm pretty sure he is what, same age or something. And yeah, basically that happens. Uh, you see all this chaos around the place and people dying and all this stuff that's happening on the outside world. Wars are happening. People are like, there's like a lot of stuff happening around the world and stuff. You see all this happening, and you see Wakanda has all the weapons to help, and or technology to help. Um, yeah, and just help with kind of the world's problems, honestly. Yeah, so just imagine that, and then yeah, and then you basically train your whole life for that. So yeah, I think, in my opinion, he had good intentions. Honestly, he had a lot of good intentions. Cause couldn't you imagine just a world where there wasn't problems like that, like wars and all this stuff? Could you imagine that? Like, it could have been stopped with this, but here's where he went wrong. Honestly, I didn't say that for the other two, but here's where he went wrong. He wanted to wage war on basically the world. Basically, that's what he wanted. He just wanted to, basically just kill those who opposed whatever, or were just generally like bad people. He just wanted to just kill them and get them over with, or whatever, and arm the poor and all this stuff, and basically wage war. That's what he really wanted, a big huge war between Wakanda supporters and then pretty much the world, honestly. And yeah, I don't think that was the right way to do it, honestly. As well as like kill, like, the way he was acting was not very good. But honestly, could you blame him? Be honest with you. Could you imagine that? What I just explained, his life story. And also, the thing with Shuri, sure, it was sad, but really he was right. Zuri, basically just betrayed his father, kind of thing. But really, he was loyal to Wakanda. I don't think he should have slaughtered him, but I don't think he was that innocent as well. But that's a different story. That's why I found out that T'Challa, the way he was doing it was better. Like opening not an MC, but like a help center and helping the Avengers and whatever. I felt like that was a better way of helping instead of just raging war. So yeah, yeah, he's probably one of my favorite villains, Killmonger. Really good. Michael B. Jordan did a good job portraying him. But anyways, that's basically it. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. I'll probably judge it by the views and likes it gets, or maybe even comments too. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.